All right, we're going to start out with, Coach, what's the buzz on campus at Southern Miss these days regarding women's basketball?
Excitement is in the air because, you know what? It's coup time. It is just around the corner, and there's a lot of excitement that is beginning to happen within our program and within our boosters, the wings. That group helps us soar higher than anyone else. They're so supportive of our program.
Practice has started. You got upperclassmen who's taking a leadership role and who has stepped in as a freshman or transfer and said, you know what, I'm going to compete and I'm going to push you for your job.
You know what, we do have a great group of young ladies, and we have some solid leadership because we have Brittany Dinkins and LaShira Cotton that have been a part of our program. This is their 4th year with us, and that makes a huge difference when you have those kinds of players in your program. It kind of directs the others, and we returned a solid group from last year. The deal is we're a little small, don't have much size, so fast and furious is what we've got to be, probably more furious than fast, but we've got to really get on the floor. We got to win 50-50 balls. We got to get second chance opportunities. We've got to create havoc so that we can get easy baskets on the run. And I just think that's so critical. And our practices have gone well. Unfortunately, we've already had a couple of injuries. That's not been fun, but a lot of it might be because of being fast and furious. I'm not sure. But the intensity level has been very, very good. One of the freshmen in Shantae, we call her Dump, Hales, has truly been a huge surprise. She is a point guard, one of the best players in the state of Mississippi last year, has had an unbelievable summer and an unbelievable early fall. And there's so much expectation of her. And I will tell you, this kid smiles all the time, and it's infectious. She's scoring off the bounce, and she's smiling. I didn't know that players prepared every day to be on camera, and that's what I ask her. She's smiling all the time. You know, whether she turns the ball over, she's smiling, or she makes a great play, she's smiling. But you see passion for the game oozing out of her, and she's going to be special.
Yeah, you guys... you have a men's team that's now eligible for the postseason. They have a lot of buzz. You guys have buzz. Do you guys really feed off each other, both teams?
You know, Doc Sadler is a tremendous man first. He is a great coach. I mean, he has been through some really tough times. And because of his personality, and he can step back and laugh about it, it's really, helped him deal with all of that. I don't know that I could have dealt with it. Yeah. You know, I'm a little wired differently than Doc. And Doc just kind of, it is what it is, Coach. That's what he'll say. It is what it is. And, there's a lot of excitement about our men's program. And, I'm just really happy that, now they have something they can play for. And you have to have so much respect for those guys for 2 years that have laid it on the line every day, when they knew they couldn't play in postseason play. So, I think that's made them better men. And they'll be able to, in their next step in life, be able to have tremendous success because of it. But this year, it's going to happen for our men. I'm really excited about it. We do feed off of each other. I think when anybody talks about basketball, obviously you think about both of our programs and particularly the success and the tradition that is at Southern Miss. Last year we had a little bit of a down year, but the 2 previous years we had a really good year. And so those are the things that we're expecting. We just got derailed a little bit last year, to say it, so we're getting the train back on track and getting us off and rolling.
Can you tell us about, a little bit what you know about Middle Tennessee and, Rick Insel and that group and what he's been able to do and really just keep it consistent and obviously last year capitalize the conference tournament?
Coach Insel does a great job. I mean, he's been around a long time. He's definitely a veteran in this sport and has had a lot of success at all levels, and he truly gets a lot out of his players. They play really, really hard, and if there's one thing when I think about Middle Tennessee, they can flat shoot the basketball. They are truly a team that can shoot the ball. Those girls spot up at that three-point line, and geez Louise, you focus in on Alex Johnson inside, and they're out there, hands ready, low, ready to lift and score the ball. they can really shoot the basketball.
So they're one of the better teams that works out, outside in, especially with Alex Johnson.
Yeah, she's special. Alex Johnson is a competitor. Undersized post, has quick ups. A lot of people, when you look at her, you don't think she can jump, but she has quick ups, and she has a warrior mentality. So there's no doubt she will anchor Middle Tennessee as long as she's there. She is truly the anchor that's going to hold that boat still, and I can't see that any other player that they would bring in to be a part of that program could ever move her, because she's a very, very special player.
Growth of this conference has changed a lot from the time that you came in to the new teams, Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee. What's the growth? What to you this year, this particular season? What's the growth?
I will tell you, I've been in this Conference USA since its inception.
Yes,
when it was Marquette, when it was DePaul, when it was Louisville, Cincinnati, Tulane, South Florida, all those teams. So I've watched the change in this league. And I miss playing those teams. They were very, very good teams and very well coached teams. I think that our conference is very different now. I think it's truly a very balanced conference from top to bottom. I think there is tremendous parity in Conference USA. I think each day the game is up for a toss. Anybody can win. We have great coaches in our league. We have great players in our league, and they truly battle it out night in and night out to be able to be the best. And this year's no different. We have our teams that are picked to win our league, but I'm telling you, you can't ever tell with teams at the bottom what's going to happen, because, again, they're great teams. They're very well coached. There's a lot of transfers in our league this year that become eligible that I think's really going to change the whole focus of our league. There's going to be some players that are hidden out that people are going to say, whoa, where did they come from? And I think our coaches have done a great job in developing our young players, and I think that's what makes Conference USA special. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I said what I wanted to say. So.
You mentioned about transfers coming in. Conference USA is back once again, like you mentioned, other with Cincinnati's and the Marquettes and all. It is a USA conference. You've got a flat-out foothold in Mississippi. But you can brand out, because you picked up kids from Alabama to Louisiana and Texas. But now you can go to the Mid-Atlantic, the Atlanta, Georgia area, and pick kids up. How has that changed? You're not only Southern Miss's brand, but you being able to recruit, the doors being opened up.
Because of our league, and it goes from Florida to UTEP, from Marshall to UTSA. It's a huge league, and it's definitely spread out. And I think one of the cool things about it gives our players an opportunity to experience different cultures from food. It's a lot difference in food in El Paso and Huntington, West Virginia. It's a big difference. There's a little more spice in that food when you think about El Paso. And, then you go from Western Kentucky down to South Mississippi. We got a little Cajun in our shrimp. It's not bland. It's pretty good shrimp. So, again, it gives our players that opportunity to experience all that. And it does open doors for us in recruiting. For example, over the past 5 years, we've really made Florida one of our home states. That's been our adopted state. We've had several players out of Florida. 2 of our returning starters from last year, Brittany Dinkins out of Miami, Curie Jewett out of Fort Myers, Florida, are 2 players that are impact players in our league. And they came out of the state of Florida. And so, we definitely have gained some tremendous exposure through Conference USA and through it expanding the way it is. And I think that's really good in a lot of counts, because, it gives our players not only exposure to the food. Obviously, you can tell I like to eat because I mentioned food, and I do.
Yeah. I told you cook every now and then for the team.
I love to cook. I do. I cook for the team quite often. But also, it gets our players' names out there for job opportunities of making connection from different areas of the country to give them a foot in the door when they get into an area that we may not visit very often. Huntington, West Virginia. you hope that Matt Daniel and Mike Hamrick would help one of our girls to get an opportunity if they were in a finalist for an interview in Huntington, West Virginia. So again, I think our league is very special. I think that we're overlooked. I think people kind of look down on us because we were the league with some of the Power 5 teams now, and you know, people say, well, what happened? Why didn't you all become a Power 5? Well, you know what? There's a lot of things I think that you don't control. And I think any challenge creates opportunities. And I think it's how you look at it. Is a glass half full? Is a glass half empty? What is it? And, you know, I think you got to look at it like it's definitely overflowing. And you see challenges as opportunities. And, you know, I'm really blessed with the opportunity to be the head coach at where I played, my alma mater at Southern Miss. And I'm blessed to be able to have a great group of young ladies that have passion for Southern Miss.
That's a perfect line.
Coach, I want to thank you for your time, as always. This is Jerry Lee Woodley Jr., the College Sports Report.
Thank you.